YouTube was It's your boy Zell back with another one. In this video, we got Bob Arum to rebuild Jared Anderson after his loss to Bercoli. I'm gonna tell you Bob Arum's exact words. He said it was the stupidest fight that Jared could have taken. He said Jared never fought a guy like that, so the fact that he got taken apart and knocked out was not surprising. So don't put it on my matchmakers. We were against that fight, but again, when they wave money at these kids, they insist on taking it. Okay, okay. So I'm about to acknowledge all of that. Okay, so he said it was the stupidest fight that Jared could have taken. I mean, in his perspective as a promoter, I would understand him saying it's stupid, but you can also argue that it was smart, because if you don't fight the best guys early in your career, how are you going to know how you match up against those guys? Because you can't have it both ways. You can't say that he's a protected prospect, but then call him stupid when he fights somebody that's a higher skill level. You got to pick one. Otherwise, it just seems like you being a hater and you just want to criticize them for anything. You can't. If you criticize me for not fighting anybody, then when I fight somebody, you call me stupid. Then that just means you hating. You're not really giving good criticism out of good energy. That's an illegitimate criticism. You just hating at that point. You feel me? And then he said Jared never fought a guy like that, which is true. And they're not surprised that he got knocked out. And it wasn't his matchmakers. It was the guys at Saudi, I believe, that offered him money to fight Bercoli. So these Saudi dudes, they handing out checks from Bud to Jared Anderson to what's the guy's name? Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Usyk, Bevo, Artabetta Beeb. They handing out checks to make these big fights happen, and I'm glad that they doing it because we're getting to see if people really like that or not. He was handing out. He even went to hand a check out to Tank versus Devin, a Teofimo versus Devin, but none of them accepted it. So it really go to show who really want to fight and who really want to get paid for it. Because let's say if we criticize a guy like Tank and they say, yeah, he protected, he not fighting anybody, I would understand that because he didn't take a Jared Anderson approach. Because there's no guarantee that he'll lose if he fights somebody on this level. If Tank fights anybody on a level or a level close to his, he's still probably gonna win. It's a high chance he's gonna win, but he ain't take that risk. So it's fair to say he's being protected and his matchmakers protecting him because he ain't take that chance. Even against Ryan Garcia, he had a couple advantages. Skills pay the bills, but he had the advantage. But I'll let him have that. That and Pitbull was his biggest challenges. Pitbull and Ryan was his biggest challenges, and he overcame those. I'm talking about Tank, but that don't mean he's not still being protected because he ain't fought no crazy competition since then. He's fighting a guy who's been defeated from a lower weight division. You know. So Bob Arum, he like, yeah, man, don't blame my matchmakers. Blame somebody else. They offered him the money. And you know what? I respect Jared Anderson for taking that fight because if he didn't, he wouldn't know where he stands, bro. As a fighter, people gonna criticize you. In fact, I just noticed I like both of the trumps. I like both of they shorts, the boxing shorts. That shit fire. Uh, Jared Anderson got the heart emojis with the P, and Bercoli he got like the plaid shit. I think he just lives in Ireland, but he's Congo. I'm Congo as well, Congolese. So yeah, bro. So like all these people hating on him, saying, "Yeah, that was stupid." You could say that, but I'll say it was smart and it was brave. He had a lot of courage to take this fight and not back out of it because he wanted to see where he matched up. Now that he took that loss, he knows what he can work on. He knows what he can do to get to a different level. He said I was backing up with my chin up, backing up in a straight line. You can't do that against elite fighters. They gonna follow you, pendulum step onto your line and hit you again. Just like how Terrence Crawford did against Errol. Errol would throw his one and throw that big ass overhand and that hook and try to back straight up. And Terrence will follow him and throw that 2-1, that cross, jab, cross, and it dropped Errol. And Bercoli will follow him and throw that one, that big old right hand, or he'll throw a hook, anything. He threw that uppercut, it didn't look hard, but Jared's neck almost came off his shoulders. This dude could punch. So Jared got to get better defensively, got to build better habits, and he just got to stick with them better habits because they more efficient and they protect you for way longer. And fighting against a guy like Bercoli, like now we know that what level Jared was on. He lasted a good amount of time. He had heart. He was fighting off pure heart because his legs and shit was gone. He got knocked down. He was like, oh shit. It looked like he didn't know where he was at, but he got back up and got back in the fight. And he won some rounds, in fact. I think he won a few rounds. But once he started getting dropped consistently, that's when it was over. It reminded me a lot like Devin Haney versus Ryan. Even if you look at Devin Haney, people were criticizing for saying, yeah, Devin Haney, you drop your right hand. It's your fault. They'll criticize him for that, but then he'll start training on it, and they'll make fun of him for training. So I'm like, the people who criticizing Devin Haney They not criticizing him in hopes of him getting better. They just trying to kick him while he down. And that's what a lot of people trying to do to a lot of black fighters. If they see a black fighter lose and him trying to get better, they'll even criticize him while he's training. That's what I'm starting to notice. So they're not criticizing you out of good faith. They're not giving you tough love, telling you to tighten up. They want you to keep losing. They just criticize. If they see you doing good at something, they'll tell you stop doing that, do something different. Just because they want to see you fail. That's what these racist boxer fans do. If they see you a good boxer, hey, you don't got no power. If they see you knocking everybody out, hey, you can't go 12 rounds. You can't go 12 rounds. It's goofy shit, bro. We see Tank, we see Deontay, we see Jerron knocking all these guys out. Then they tell them they can't go 12 rounds. We see Devin box, we see Bud box, we see, Shakur box. Oh, they ain't got no power. We see Floyd box, so he ain't got no power. They runners. So it's a lose lose. So don't fight to please the fans. Fight to win. Fight in your best interest. Fight. Do what you good at and get better at what you bad at, so people can't exploit it. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, and share this. Till next time, man.